What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back here with another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. Today we gonna be getting back into my manga collection. I'm sorry, I know it's been a while, but manga is expensive and I'm broke. So without further ado, let's get into my manga haul. For my first pick of my manga haul, I decided to go with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I went with all of part 1, so I got all 3 volumes of part 1, Phantom's Blood. And I decided to get JoJo because it's a little bit different than what I usually collect. I've seen the anime, I'm in love with the anime, I'm a huge JoJo fan, so definitely give JoJo a try if you haven't. Part 1 starts off the entire series with the protagonist named Jonathan, and this is what sets up the entire rest of the JoJo lineage and the entire rest of the JoJo franchise. Now, because it's the original, it's the first part, it's a little bit different than what you probably know JoJo now. If you've read JoJo, if you've watched JoJo, it's completely different. They don't really have stands in this. They don't have no type of power that you've seen. They use a special power called Hamon, and that's how they fight. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is a crazy, amazing series. I definitely recommend it to everyone if you haven't seen it. Now, because JoJo's broken into different parts, it's almost a little bit like episodic where each part can kind of stand alone, but at the same time they don't, because each generation of JoJo all stems from the original JoJo. So he's the first, Jonathan Joestar, that's his name, JoJo. And after that, I think part 2 is his grandson. I think part 3 will technically be his great-grandson or great-great-grandson, something like that. And they're basically all the JoJo family. Each part is self-contained in its own little story, its own little world. It does branch out to other parts. So part 1 is referenced a little bit in part 2 and part 3, but not so much in part 4, part 5. And that's how it's done. Every different part of JoJo is its self-contained story, but it does give callbacks to the previous parts a little bit. There may be a character here or there. Maybe one of the Joestars actually show up. Maybe someone else like from the Speedwagon Foundation or anyone else will show up and help the cast, and they fight evil. It's crazy to think how the JoJo lineage and the JoJo story starts off with this one guy who despises the Joestars and everything for the past 20 years. All 5-6 parts that are in the anime. I think there's about 8 parts that are released in the manga, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong about that one. But this one guy, just throughout the entire generations, throughout multiple generations, he's the reason that JoJo's are always fighting someone. They're always fighting the big bad. And that's how this story is. It's just a bizarre adventure. Definitely give this a try if you haven't. I highly recommend JoJo for anyone. Now, a little trick to start with JoJo, because it is a lot if you don't want to read or watch everything all at once. My favorite one is part 5, and that one is probably the most self-contained story. Part 5 takes place in Italy. It's by himself. He doesn't really reference the other JoJos. All the protagonist wants to do is his story, so basically it's a little bit different. It's definitely the most self-contained out of all the JoJo parts, because the other ones, they fill into each other. Like this one continues after part 3, part 4, etc. Definitely give JoJo part 5 a try if you haven't. It's been years since I've seen JoJo part 1. I can't wait to read it and actually see some differences or actually be refreshed about the beginning, because I don't remember that much of the beginning of JoJo. I remember the main big plot points, but not the little bitty details. My next pickup is definitely a surprise to me, because I didn't realize I was going to enjoy this series as much as I did. And I'm glad I definitely went and just binged the rest. I picked up everything else that's currently out, and that's Zom 100. So I picked up the rest of Zom 100. I picked up volume 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Currently, there are 7 volumes out for Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. And I had to pick up volume 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 because I fell in love with this series. It's so fun. It's so enjoyable to read. And if you didn't catch my last video, Zom 100 is about a guy who is working a terrible office job, and he finally quits when there's a zombie apocalypse that breaks out. During that zombie apocalypse, he decides to create a bucket list of things he wants to do before he turns into a zombie. And it's just crazy, funny, enjoyable. He's doing these wacky things to complete his bucket list, and his bucket lists are full of unique different things. I really can't believe I enjoy Zom 100 as much as I do. I don't really like comedy series. I don't like the jokes, the funny ha-has. Those never really appeal to me. I'm more action or drama. but Zom 100 definitely I fell in love with. I had to go and binge everything. I didn't read Zom 100 digitally or anything like that, so I completely picked this up blind. This is the first time I ever did that. My first physical manga that I picked up blind, and to be so enjoyable is incredible to me. I can't believe I like it this much. I recommend highly, highly that anyone sits down and just read this series because it's that good. I'm waiting for an anime to drop. Now, I don't think I will like the anime that much, but I'll definitely give it a try. I'm hoping they release one. I don't know how the jokes are going to transfer over when I'm actually watching the series. I might not like them, but I'll give it a try. Definitely pick up Zom 100. It's an amazing series. If you read it, you're going to enjoy it. I don't see anyone just not enjoying this series or not liking this series. This is really amazing. It's so unique because it's not a typical zombie apocalypse where everyone is serious. Everyone is, let's hunker down and, find a way out of it. No, he's just living his life. He's doing what he wants to do, completing his bucket list. Wherever the wind takes him is whatever he wants to do. So definitely check this out. My next pickup should be at no surprise to y'all because if you've seen my past manga haul, you know how much I love this series, and that's Wotakoi. So I picked up the rest of Wotakoi. I picked up volume 3, 4, 5, and 6. I had to pick up Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku because, as you guys know, I truly love this series. I adore this series. It's so calm. It's so chill. And it's just an enjoyable read because everything is just relaxed. It's just calm. This is one of those series where you could just sit down in your reading nook and just enjoy it and just have the world fade away. You just get so involved into the story. I can't stress it enough. Wotakoi is just a beautiful, amazing series. This is probably one of my favorite series that I've seen in a long time. Definitely one of my favorite slice of life animes. The only slice of life anime I probably like better is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Leave a like if you know which one that one is. I love that one. I can't wait to start collecting that. That's definitely on my list to pick up. Wotakoi is just so wholesome. It's just a group of friends doing everyday life things, and they just chill. They play games. They do cons. They do manga. It's just relaxing, Wotakoi is one of those series for me where once I start reading, the whole world just goes away. You just sit down, you relax, and nothing really bothers you after that. Wotakoi puts you in a nice mood, and you're going to be in love with the story. Now, because it's slice of life, not everyone really enjoys slice of life series in general, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But I definitely think this topic of a group of friends working in an office job, hiding, their habits, hiding their hobbies, and that's what Wotakoi is. It's just a group of friends doing what they love. They try to hide it, yes, but they don't try to hide it to a point where they're ashamed of it. They're not ashamed of being on Kotaku, and neither should you. Definitely give Wotakoi a try if you haven't. I highly recommend this series. Definitely pick this up. That's my manga haul. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, I'm sorry I haven't been doing manga hauls that consistently. It's just, I'm broke, manga's expensive, so I've been trying to make do with what I can. I wanted to go for a series that I know I'm going to read and series that I knew I was going to enjoy first before I start branching out into different series that I've never heard about. So now that I've finished Wotakoi, now that I'm up to date with Zom 100, I can definitely branch out a little bit more like you saw with JoJo. So now I'm going to get probably different more series. Now you're going to see series that I haven't shown on the channel. Definitely, if you enjoy my content, if you like what I'm doing, consider leaving a like, subscribing, hit the bell so you know when I post another video. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.